Hello everyone. Before we start, a quick reminder, online trading involves the risk of losing your funds. Make sure you understand all of the risks involved, exercise caution, and trade with brokers you trust that hold the appropriate license by the FSCA. Without further ado, please welcome Abdulla Ismail, Africa Regional Manager at IronFX, with a workshop on strategies, analysis, and risk management essentials. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying their day so far. My name is Dr. Abdulla Ismail. I'm Africa Regional Manager for IronFX. So before we start, the presentation is going to be talking about some certain kinds of guidelines for every single trader, whether they are beginner or whether they are professional, so they can take into consideration before choosing any broker, even when they are going to be trading, what they have supposed to check, and so on and so forth. So let's start. So in this presentation, we will be pointing out what is the online trading, the importance of the guidelines and the trading plan, and so on and so forth. We will be discussing them point by point. I'm trying my best to be straight to the point, not to get you bored, guys. So before we start, all of us knows how the trading, where it goes, how the things go, and what is the trading in general. But let's just go through back to the tradings 101. So tradings in general, guys, it gives us the opportunity through a certain platform to get an access to the stock markets, get an access to whole markets, depending on the geolocation that we are on. And from there, we will be able to see how we're going to open and close positions so far. So before we proceed further, these guidelines is basically based on personal guidelines that has been taken through a certain analysis from multiple brokers, from multiple traders, from multiple people who were been in this industry for a good time or for a long time ago. So first of all, before we get into the trading, we have to make sure that we choose the correct broker. In the correct broker, as a trader, you need to make sure that, number one, is this broker regulated? What's the licensing that they have? Because at the end of the day, even if the broker may be regulated, we need to take a look on the regulation record. Lots of other brokers or companies in this world may say that they are regulated, but their track record, they will be having lots of complaints. So number one is the licensing. Number two is we need to see the record and the successful record of this broker in general. Number two, are they reliable and trusted? Reliability and trust is basically gained through the product that each broker is selling. Number one, are they going to, for example, once you make your deposit, how long does it take for this deposit to reflect? Number two, when you request to withdraw, is the withdrawal going to be processed with a certain duration of time? All these conditions should be taken into consideration before going further into any other things. Number three, which is the trading conditions. When we say trading conditions, we need to make sure that we are looking at the spread of the market. Lots of brokers in general, for example, they will say we have a tight spread. Now we need to define what is tight spread. Some spreads could be 1.8, some spreads could be 2.5, some spreads could be 3.7. And for you who doesn't know how the spread works, spread is basically the difference between the ask and the bid, which is the selling and the buying. At the end of the day, as much as the spread goes up, this is where you need to put more money in order to open any position. So number four, which is the deposit and the withdrawal methods. Sometimes we need to check what are the available options that we have to deposit and to withdraw. If we have a limited options for that, at the end of the day, we will be left in waiting for days and days in order for the money to come back to us. Of course, we're not going to talk about, later on we're going to speak about the execution quality, which means the time needed wherever you place a trade. How long does it take for this trade to appear on your platform? Because as a trader, you will be facing, sometimes you will open a position and the position will keep rolling. Or it's going to go to off-quote, or it's going to go to freeze. Those are basically one of the most important guidelines that we should take into consideration before trading with any broker. Let's move further. Now, after you check all these guidelines, which comes to the broker, you as a trader, you need to make sure what is your goal or the aim of trading, okay? So you should treat trading as a business, not as a side hustle. So if you give more into trading, trading will give you back more. At this stage, once we are 100% available and aware what is the broker that we are going to trade and put our money in, we need to put a trading strategy. Now, the benefits of the trading strategy is that you put your milestone, so you would be able to see how much potential profit I'm able to do. And also number two, we should be disciplined. Discipline comes, I'm gonna discuss it later. Discipline comes, or the disciplinary measures comes is how are we going to take a look on our psychology? Because at the end of the day, all of us are humans. So sometimes trading, if you make a loss, you will be so like annoyed and messing and angry. What shall I do? What's the next step? So this disciplinary is the major important thing. Number three is we need to talk about the adapting to the market. And the most important thing is to be confident of what you are doing. So once you decide I want to deposit, I want to risk this X amount of money, we should be aware that this X amount of money is not going to affect my food on the table. So we need to be sure before we risk any money, because trading involves risk, and risk of the capital can be just disappearing. So as I already said, developing a trading strategy, which means if you are a beginner and you don't know, you need to seek education. That's why at IronFX, we provide people before they get into trading by the educational academy, where they will be able to learn, to see, and to also try on demo accounts to see are they able, what did they learn, are they going to be implemented in the real time. Number three, if we are not available, or basically you learned, then you can seek from different mentorship. And here you need to take into consideration those mentorships. And of course, some other people will be providing strategies, providing signals. Here's what copy trading goes. And this is where you need to check the background of those people before you follow them. Number three, which is the most important thing for me, is the risk management strategy. For each trader, they need to make sure that the risk that they are taking is something that they can able to handle. They need to know how to utilize the risk management points, such as stop loss orders, which is you limit yourself, like driving a car. At the end of the day, you know that you can limit your speed to a certain point, which is, I don't want to get loss more than that. Number two, position sizing, which comes into what is the size, how many lots I am trying to open. Am I going to start with 0.01 lot? I'm going to start with a half lot. I'm going to start with one lot. Bearing in mind, guys, that the more lot size increase, the more money that you need to deposit. And also taking into consideration the leverage, because the leverage is a kind of a double-sided weapon. The same way that it will give you the potential to buy and to gain money, it can also drag your feet while losing money. For that reason, the most important thing that we need to take care about it is this small little formula, which we call it risk-reward ratio. Risk-reward ratio is basically what is the potential risk that I'm gonna do over the potential reward. In another way, we call it ROI, which is the return on investment. How much money I'm gonna put and how much the return on investment that I will be able to receive. Number four, which is trading psychology. We are all gonna be affected by our psychology, whether we are in need of money or we are good with money. The most important thing, the discipline in the trading psychology. Don't let any anger, don't let any happiness affect you. Because, for example, if you put money, $50, for example, you made $200 out of it. At the end of the day, don't get so excited, because this excitation, it's gonna be something that you will be regretting it later. The same thing happens if you put the money and you lost it. Don't give up. Try, see what were the mistakes that you already done, and so on, so forth. So controlling the psychological aspects of any trade gives you the freedom to choose and gives you the freedom to understand how you want to move forward. Number 5, technical analysis. Technical analysis basically is one of the most important thing that we should take into consideration, because learning this small basics will allow you guys to understand how the movement of the market goes. So learning about the line charts, learning about the bar charts, learning about the candlesticks, those are basics. Before you get into trading, don't get excited by whatever you hear. Go see, go check, see what does this mean? Ask questions. What does this candlestick mean? How can I read the chart? Why this chart is keep moving? What is the duration that I'm gonna take a look on it? I'm gonna take a look on 1 hour duration or 5 days duration. Why? Because this is the most important step in order to expect what is the next step of the market. The more you go into the history, the more you will be arranging your decisions. And also the support and resistance. Those are most important factors. All these terminologies that I'm mentioning right now, I wish I have time to do it, but all these terminologies, you as a trader, you should take into consideration before you step forward in that. Number 6, which is the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is basically comes after the technical analysis, because fundamental analysis depends on different factors. For example, the geopolitical events. So if a war is happening in a certain place, this may affect the currency exchange. Economic indicators. What is the inflation rate of each of this? For example, how much is $1 equal to South African rand? How much €1 is equal to South African rand? All these information and all this history of knowing this information will lead you to be aware how to proceed further and taking your own decisions. The trading plan should always take into consideration the following factors, and these are the factors. What is your motivation of the trading? How much time that you are committing for the trading? Your trading goals, how much I'm going to make, or what is my target as the first 3 months? Number 4, your risk tolerance. How much are you able to take risk? The available capital, how much money that I have in my pocket that I will be able to do it. And also the strategies that we said. Are you basically a fundamental trader? Are you a news trader? Are you basically looking for precious metal? Are you looking for Forex? All these things you need to choose to take aside before moving forward in that. So, with that said, everything that we already discussed about the trading in general, it's always gonna lead to a place where you need to choose the broker. Choosing any broker, you need to take into consideration the trading conditions and what is this broker is offering for you if you partner up with it, or if you partner up as becoming with any kind of broker. So partnering with IronFX, how it's gonna be leading into how it's gonna affect the trading industry. Number 1. We should take into consideration that trading has been already originated from the idea of entrepreneur, which is people that they don't want to basically be servants or slaves for whatever the employer is going to give to them. That's where the introducing brokers, the affiliation programs, partnering up with lots of brokers leads to the emerge of this idea. With that said, also, if you basically finished your role in becoming a trader and you want to make a side hustle for partnering up with any other brokers, at the end of the day, there are also lots of guidelines that you need to take into consideration. Their product. Are you able to sell the product? The trading conditions. First of all, how much they pay you per each lot size. What are their specialty? Are they be specialized in precious metal, in forex? All these things that you should also take into consideration. And the most important thing is the technology of the platform. Is this platform basically allows you to implement a certain type of AIs, certain type of robots, certain type of EA, which is expert advisors. All these information that also may affect you as a trader, you should take it into consideration before partnering up with any broker. So, what are the advantages of basically partnering up with any broker, with IronFX or with any other broker? Number one is that you're going to be able to expand your revenue stream. You have to earn more competitive commissions. Number two is what is the technology. For example, with IronFX, we have the cutting-edge trading technology that is basically whether the MetaTrader 4 or whether basically the social trading, the copy trading, and the availability of the AIs. The transparent reporting and tracking. Because at the end of the day, you need to see this business that you're bringing to this particular broker. Are you going to see it? Or just gonna be disappearing and somebody's gonna come telling you this is the X amount of clients that you brought. All these factors will also affect you partnering up and affect how trustworthy is the broker. How you can unlock your potential. Unlocking your potential is basically as the same main idea of talking about the trading, which is basically to diversify your income stream, to find a broker that would be able to embrace the innovation and technology. And the last thing which is you need to take into consideration is to seize the global opportunities. With IronFX, not you only going to be connected to the regional area that you are in. No, you will be connecting to lots of other clients that will be worldwide. All this will give you an exposure for your own type of business that you will be exposed, and the rest of the world will be able to know about you. So this is a very important slide for me, which is the success in trading is not measured by the account balance. It's measured by the knowledge that you gain and the skills that you develop. It is not only how much money we brought, how much did we learn through the way of all these things. So seeking for information, that's your most important step, guys. You need to seek the information and don't assume. Whenever there is something that you don't understand, especially in this industry, you need to ask. You don't leave it there, because assumption will lead you to have a certain idea on your mind while it is not what's going to happen. Always ask. So that's going to be one of the last slide before we can finish. As I said, like I said at the beginning, the more tiered regulation for each broker that you would be able to choose, you need to see what are the regulations that this broker having. So for example, IronFX is regulated by the CSEC, which is the Cyprus Security and Exchange Commission. This regulation allows you basically to be able to target any person that is, or a client or any partner that will be residing in anywhere in Europe. Number two, which is all of us knows about, which is the FSCA, which is the most powerful one in the region, the most powerful regulation. IronFX have also the FCA, and also IronFX is a type of brand that has multiple sub-brands underneath it with multiple of regulation, such as the ASIC, which is in Australia, such as the DFSA, which is in Dubai, such as Bermuda, and such as well the FSA of Seychelles. So guys, by the end of this presentation, you should bear in mind that choosing a broker depends on multiple factors. These factors, you are the one that you should take care of it. It's your own responsibility to do that. You cannot just say, oh no, I know this broker. Oh, this broker has been there for a good time. No, it is the condition, the trading condition, the platform, the technology is the most important thing. And you should weigh your risks and your benefits. Because at the end of the day, this capital is coming from your own pocket. see how much you want to risk, and choose a solid trading broker. So you can choose IronFX. Thank you, guys.